fuck is up, gamers? It's your boy the Goods, and it's actually another day. I just gonna have this shirt as my like recording chill shirt because it's so comfy. Welcome back to episode number 30 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Ooh, I'm looking cuter and cuter every day. Ooh, I'm looking better, and this shirt too is like, you know what I mean? Like it's. God damn, look at me. Whoa. Alright, anyways. I need to continue for my last save. We're Mr. Drebber's back room. And we're gonna open the safe. What else will we do? And Susanoo already has the whole safe memorized. I want you to know I played Pokemon Go all day today. Like, I was thinking about recording in the morning time. Jesus Christ. You found me. Damn! Look at him! Oh my god! Yo, he's dripping! Oh my god! Break it down! Yo! New coolest character in the game, hello?
Right then, sir. Mr. Enoch Drebber, I presume.
Correct. You better start talking. You tricked Professor Hairbrain with that bogus machine you built.
And you shall have to explain for the theft of the waxwork from Madame Tuspells as well.
Whilst I would be delighted to answer your many questions, personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little parcel first.
Deactivate?
Your parcel?
I refer, of course, to the time bomb. I left it in a most prominent position. I see. Stunned silence.
Who is he?
You're all gearing up to die with me then.
No!
Who is he? Who is this man?
Mr. Sholmes, with only 7 seconds to spare!
That was too close for comfort. I've got one foot in the grave already.
Are you trying to help us get a killer or get us killed?
Mr. Sholmes' deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they?
Well, my dear fellows, that was a close shave. The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say.
Anti-gravity devices don't exist!
I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. Hold on. Can we talk to him? Hold on, there's no way. None of this is in the fucking walkthrough, so I guess we just talk to him.
Got a death wish, have you? Hiding right beside a ticking time bomb.
Please, why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? It's no ordinary safe. It's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't leave a scratch on it.
So, in fact, the safe was the only safe place.
Precisely.
This guy is actually a menace.
But once you climbed inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again.
I invite you to look more closely. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within.
Ah, so it is.
I had always intended to blow this place to smithereens in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans.
Do you mean to say you were planning to blow us all up?
No, that was unforeseen.
What do you mean? He's too dripped out. I can't take him seriously, though.
Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet.
Ah.
I calculated the time required for retreat to a safe distance and set the device accordingly. But your seemingly endless discourse in here threw a spanner in the works.
Is something wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face besides the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth?
Alright, what happened here, man? What on earth happened in here?
You found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Everything in here is precisely what it seems.
Yeah, we will be giving it a thorough going over, don't you worry, Trevor.
What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop. That I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt.
Whistling.
Ah, that would have been me.
Oh,
For some reason, I woke in fine fettle today.
Jesus. No words, just tightly squeezed chips. Clearly, I must have a screw loose though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I had written it down.
We also found a rope over by the wall.
Yes, I had hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly, the rope was too short. So, I then set about searching for the combination code to open the safe.
And banning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters.
And after that, you hid yourself in the safe? Having first set this parcel ticking.
Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police.
I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. But what about the two incidents you've evidently been involved in recently? Professor Harebrain's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition, and the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to.
That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. I've been considering carrying it around as protection. After all,
That's
enough. What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here.
Yes, well... Dr. Scythe again, so the forensic investigation team are here.
And you know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him? If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. You lot, leave at once.
My dear madam, there's no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you. After all, that's no way to greet an old acquaintance, isn't it, Dr. Scythe?
Hello, Sholmes.
Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Scythe?
If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you're quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a shell you...
Get out!
But of course, we'll show ourselves the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Mr. Norohodo!
Yes?
It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today.
But Mr. Sholmes!
Let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands.
I said get out, now! All of you! Your presence here is not required either, Gregson.
Understood. But I'll just say one thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd never have found this place, and the whole workshop would have been blown to bits. There was a time bomb set in here that this lot disarmed.
Inspector?
Good.
Something giving you a chuckle, has it, Trevor?
So sorry. Didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Yes, you did disarm that one.
What are you? That one? You mean?
Good.
Oh my god. Oh my god!
long has that been there? It was an hour later that we heard the news of the enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage at the Great Exhibition. Professor Harebrain's invention and all its secrets were blown away forever? That's why they didn't mention shit in the walkthrough, is because that was a fucking crazy spoiler. Because it just goes from, like, you find him, and then Dr. Scythe shows up, and it didn't have any of the shit about talking to him. That's nuts.
That's crazy!
Damn. Oh my god! Alright.
Good morning to you, Mr. Naruhodo!
Ah, good morning, Professor. Ready for today's proceedings?
I hope so. I should be. Even I, with nothing left to. Good morning, my dear fellows!
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you're here! Way more interesting than Harebrain. Fuck that guy.
Why, naturally, a true gentleman stands shoulder to shoulder with his friends in battle at all times.
Thank you, I really appreciate it. I will see you later, then. Now, Professor, we really need you to remain calm in the courtroom today.
Yes, do try your hardest not to enter the witness stand uninvited again. Yes, I will. I realize it was a mistake, but my dear fellows, I must interject.
Oh, you're still here, Mr. Sholmes. What's the matter?
Surely you've overlooked some praise, have you not, to be cast in my direction,
Sorry, I don't follow.
Must I spell it out? I, the great Harlock Sholmes, the greatest detective of worldwide acclamation. Arose at some ungodly hour to be here now. First thing in the morning. A miracle, you must agree.
Well, if I must agree, then...
As you know, my sleep is quite impregnable. Iris had to employ her full gamut of tactics. She pulled the covers off, shook me, poked both cheeks, punched me, and kicked me from the bed. Then she poured a boiling cup of her latest experimental blend on my face, and at last I was bestirred. Oh my, Iris has been busy.
Iris doesn't have it in her to go that far. She's too nice. That's not true.
Ah, I sense the spirit of a fellow scientist, one who relishes the infinite possibilities of blending tea. I'm the one worthy of praise here, not Iris. This is my victory.
Sorry I cut in.
Oh, Inspector Gregson. Good morning.
Gregson, my dear fellow, why the grim expression at this delightfully early hour?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I've been confronted with a grimmer expression, eh?
Dear me, are you going to take that insult lying down, Professor? What? I don't know!
Poor Professor.
Anyway, here's the paperwork you asked for.
What paperwork?
Ah, I took the liberty of requesting it yesterday. I have a feeling it may prove useful.
You wouldn't believe the hoops I had to jump through to get this brought out of the archives. It's the professor's autopsy report.
That mass murderers?
Who killed 5 members of the aristocracy?
He was found guilty in a closed trial 10 years ago now. He was all done under wraps, and he was quickly executed soon after the trial. It's all in here.
I don't know what to say. Thank you, Inspector.
Yes, much obliged, Gregson.
Us lowly lot of the yard is doing what we can, in the shadow of the great Detective Sholmes, of course.
So hold on, I want to look at the... What did he just got me? Wow. So, death by hanging confirmed at midnight. Courtney Stevens. Who the fuck is that? Is that going to be relevant? Should I care? They're not going to let me actually do that, are they? No, of course not. Okay, whatever. Well then, Professor Harebrain, this is it. Today we're gonna lay all this to rest at last.
I wish you the best of luck, Professor. I suppose he'll be in here today, will he? Drebba. Yes, we expect the prosecution to summon him as a witness. I'm still amazed that you managed to find him in just one day. I really owe you both so much.
Counsel and the defendant,
The trial's about to resume. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. Oh shit. We're in trouble now. There's actually not a lot. This is it then, the final chapter. Funny, my heart's racing a little. Yeah, literally, there's like the beginning, there's testimony. Okay, wow, there's actually not a lot left. It's actually not a lot. I've not felt this before, actually, this strange foreboding. As if something's going to happen in this trial I'm not ready for. But I can't let that distract me from the only thing that really matters. Finding the truth. Find the contradictions, uncover the truth. Yeah, actually, I don't think this should be that long. And then there's only 2 more trials, baby. 2 more.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the public hearing of Albert Harebrain, here present, who stands accused of murder. Are the counsels for the prosecution and defense ready to proceed?
Oh, shit.
The prosecution is ready, my lord.
The defense is ready, my lord. As promised, Lord Van Zieks has an apprentice with him. His apprentice with memory loss.
If I may, Lord Van Zieks.
Yes, my lord.
There appears to be someone standing at your side.
Ah, yes, my apprentice and assistant. The prosecution believes today's proceedings will see the complexity of this case rise considerably.
Oh, shit! Oh my god!
I therefore instructed my assistant to attend to ensure the smooth running of the trial.
And the smooth running of liquid refreshments by the look of it.
The way he holds himself, the way he moves, it couldn't be anyone else.
But he's still suffering from amnesia, so there's really nothing we can do at the moment.
I know, but oh, this is so very hard.
Yeah, imagine like your friend dies, and it's been like 6-7 months or some shit. 6-7. And like, he's just back, and he's like, I don't even know who I am anymore. And it's like, God, it's gonna be hard.
It would appear the prosecution has done a fine job in responding to the demands that the court made yesterday. I understand you've successfully secured the engineer who disappeared from the scene on the day in question.
Yes, my lord. I intend to call him as a witness shortly.
Very good, very good. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, who have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this courtroom today, are you ready and willing to proceed?
Of course, my lord. I'm sure we all understand the importance of doing our civic duty.
I do despise deception and deceit. I find it so very wearing.
To take a man's life with a conjuring trick, it is against the magician's code, not to mention the law.
Any fake scientist should feel the wrath of God, if you ask me.
Oh, we haven't listened to what did on both sides defense and they settle on one, that's it, isn't it?
Jesus Christ! Put the corn down!
If all parties are ready to proceed, you may begin, Lord Van Zieks.
Before I do, my lord, there is a report I must read to the court. Yesterday at the Great Exhibition Grounds, the evidence of primary importance in this case, the super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine, which was installed on the experimentation stage, was deliberately destroyed in an explosion affected by an unknown person or persons.
It was what?
Explosion!
This is an outrage!
I'm pretty sure somebody admitted to doing that.
Yes, I heard this grave news yesterday. Scotland Yard submitted a report to my office in the evening. I read that the machine was blasted to smithers, and the wreckage reduced to ashes in the flames.
Oh my god, I'm so hungry. Oh my god. Oh my dum-dum, bro. I'm so hungry, dude.
I have here a photographic print of the scene taken in the wake of the explosion.
Oh.
It shows what little remains of the machine.
Yes, a terrible business.
Something dropped. He did it to destroy the evidence, did he?
That Enoch Drebber!
The court will take this print as evidence, counsel.
Late yesterday afternoon, the protection afforded to the machine by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act was revoked. However, before a thorough investigation could begin, the invention was obliterated from existence. As such, this will become a very different trial.
Yeah, obviously.
As it stands now, with no evidence on which to draw meaningful conclusions, the authenticity of the Kinesis machine will remain forever in obscurity.
Indeed, a most unfortunate state of affairs.
However, one thing remains clear. The victim's death was a result of the actions of the accused. Of that we can be certain. For it was the accused himself who was operating the machine and who ultimately caused its loss of control.
Objection! As Lord Van Zieks rightly says, this is a very different trial now. The accused accepts responsibility for his part in the events that transpired. He acknowledges that Mr. Osmond died as a result of the accident caused by his machine's malfunction. However, unbeknownst to the professor, he was being deliberately deceived by a pair of very clever fraudsters.
Names, counsel, if you please.
The engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, and the victim himself, Mr. Odie Osmond. So what exactly were those two men up to behind the defendant's back? The defense intends to expose that information, thus establishing the unequivocal innocence of the defendant.
I see.
Thank you, counsels. The positions of the prosecution and defense have been clearly stated. Lord Van Zieks, summon your first witness, please.
At once, my lord. The prosecution calls the engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, to the stand. State your name and occupation for the court.
Name, Enoch Drebber. Occupation, hard to pin down, I would say.
See all that black monocle? Yeah, what do I feel as I've seen it somewhere? How are you too? What exactly the same feeling myself?
I'm not getting ready to it. I'm not sure of this shit.
Your file indicates that you're currently being investigated in connection with another case. The theft of a waxwork model, is it? A most extraordinary sounding business.
But that has no bearing on this trial, I assure you. Leave it from your mind.
You're familiar with the public experiment carried out at the Great Exhibition some days ago. The accused super high voltage instantaneous kinesis demonstration.
Yes, you could say that. I am aware of it. There was a terrible accident, wasn't there?
It was you, Mr. Drebber, who constructed the vast machine used in this experiment. Or so our investigations indicate. Can you confirm your involvement?
Yes, I constructed it in precise accordance with the blueprints, but that's all.
Then the court would be very interested to hear your thoughts about the machine, I'm sure.
That shit wouldn't work. An amazing device, if you ask me. The pinnacle of modern science, making instantaneous kinesis a reality at last. What?
Good gracious! Do you mean to say that the experiment was bona fide? Is that your belief, sir?
Yes, that is very much my belief. Such a waste that it blew up.
Objection! But we've already established the machine was nothing more than a prop for an elaborate conjuring trick.
Objection. You've established nothing of the sort. All that was shown during yesterday's proceedings is that the same outcome could have been produced by means of stage trickery. The defense merely proposed a method and demonstrated its feasibility, nothing more.
But,
We've procrastinated long enough, I feel. Witness, you will now give your formal testimony about the machine that you constructed for the purpose of demonstration at the Great Exhibition.
Understood.
Okay, so I need to actually, real quick, before I even do any of that shit. I need to. What? Ah, look here. The wood's cracked and broken because it fell from a height. Good to know. Okay. I had to do that before I fucked around too hard.
I met the young professor approximately 1 year ago through Mr. Osmond's introduction. He provided me with the blueprints, and I constructed the machine to his precise specifications. It was no trick. If the whole show was a fraud, it would have required a body double. Tell me, did the victim have a twin? All the spectators saw the birdcage appear above their heads and then crash headfirst at the Crystal Tower. A terrible accident, I grant you. Perhaps the science on which the machine was built was flawed somehow.
I see. A body double?
That goes without saying, surely. To give the impression that someone has moved, when in reality it hasn't. It's a basic conjuring principle. The deception cannot be achieved without substituting the original with a fake at some point in the performance. But would I be right in saying you haven't managed to establish anything along those lines?
Ugh.
Incidentally, the prosecution has already confirmed that Mr. Osmond has no twin sibling.
It's my understanding that this witness is well versed in conjuring artfulness. But such talents do not indicate that he was actually able to accomplish what he claims. Namely, the construction of what, by all accounts, must have been an extremely complex scientific machine.
Whatever do you mean?
Yesterday's proceedings brought the true nature of your past exploits to light, Mr. Drebber.
Indeed it did, my lord. As a swindler who preys on innocent scientists to elicit government grant money through conjuring know-how.
Yes, it's true that I possess considerable knowledge of stage magic. But crucially, my scientific knowledge more than matches that of any academic in the field.
Investigation of the witness's workshop attests to that claim, my lord. As evidence, the police found this Royal Society trophy for young talent in science there. Yes, that's true. We spotted it there ourselves.
If a hypothesis is sound, it can always be forged into a physical manifestation with sufficient skill. Though I may have sold the secrets of some deceptive wiles to sniveling, talentless scientists in the past.
Would you therefore assert that the explosion of the machine was...
An unfortunate accident, or, of course, a deliberate act of murder carried out by misuse of the science. Can you explain how? Can you explain that at all?
Counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, my lord. Okay, so... First, we need to go to number 4 and present objection. We've examined the birdcage that crashed into the Crystal Tower ourselves. As you can see, the cage, which is a wooden construction, has sustained damage in one particular spot.
Following the explosion, it fell some 30 feet into the glass of the Crystal Tower. That level of damage is to be expected, surely.
I agree. The damage itself is entirely understandable. What doesn't make sense is the location of that damage. All the breakages in the wood are at the base of the birdcage, not the top.
What are you saying?
That's the opposite of where they should be.
That's right, my lord. The birdcage that was at the scene is damaged at the base. So we have reports of the birdcage following headlong into the Crystal Tower, yet the damage is at the bottom. The only way to reconcile these two facts is to accept that there were two birdcages in play that day, which were at some point switched. Switched during what wasn't a scientific experiment at all, but an elaborate piece of stage trickery.
Yeah.
Good gracious! Explain yourself, witness!
Well...
If we examine the facts, there's only one logical conclusion we can draw. The damage on the base of the birdcage clearly indicates that it crashed tail first into the tower.
Objection. But multiple witness reports claim it fell head first.
The birdcage materialized in the sky next to a balloon flying over the stage, following a spontaneous explosion at an altitude of 60-some feet above ground level. which is approximately 18 meters.
Thanks for that.
It then proceeded to fall some 30 feet into the Crystal Tower in the ensuing deflagration. Witness reports amid such chaos are notoriously unreliable.
Objection. But the victim's neck was broken.
He plummeted 30 feet inside a heavy wooden birdcage. However he fell, it would be unsurprising to find one or two of his vertebrae crushed.
Fucking guy. A riveting scientific analysis of events from the prosecution there. Though to be even more rigorous, you would have to say it was only one vertebra, really. He wasn't quiet for that long.
I find it hard to see what's motivating Lord Van Zieks. This witness is clearly a swindler and one who deceived a personal friend of his.
If you're going to establish this deception, do it right.
Sorry?
I feel like that's the undertone here. Yes, and there's one more point the defense appears to have forgotten. It obviously wasn't a trick, as a certain truth very plainly demonstrates. What?
It seems to me the cross-examination had better continue until we resolve this matter.
Alright, so I'm gonna end the episode for now. Because we're at about 30 minutes and it'll put us into the event of the next episode quite nicely. So
For now, I'm going to end the episode. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.